This is your June forecast, and I know this is super late. You are going to be doing a lot of sixth house work. And what is the sixth house? The sixth house is routine. It's your work routine. It's your mental health routine. It's how you seek stability in your life through regimented routines. And so you're going to be reflecting a lot on this. I'm happy to say that for you, it's also your work routine, and Capricorns are so focused on their work. And so for you, it's going to be about fine-tuning that area of your life. So let's start it out. On the 2nd, you had a full moon in Sagittarius, and for you, it was in your 12th house. Your 12th house, and I feel really bad that I didn't get this out to you because I'm very sensitive about the 12th house because I have Saturn in my 12th house, and I spend an enormous amount of time dealing with 12th house karma. And so I'm really, when I see somebody that has work in their 12th house, I want to nurture and help them through this energy, because 12th house work is deep work. It's the closet, essentially, where you throw everything into that you don't want to deal with, and you just lock it away. But then at some point, you revisit that closet, and you're like, okay, I was looking for this item that I threw in there. So you pull out all these boxes and all this stuff from your 12th house, and you look at it, and it pulls you back into memory lane. I mean, there's a reason why you shoved all that stuff into the 12th house. It's stuff that you can't get rid of, but you don't want to have in your peripheral vision. You don't want to have it in your present life. And when you go into this 12th house work, it's something that you really, truly just need to think about and look at. When your 12th house is activated in your personal chart, it's a deep area. It's all your unconscious thoughts. It's the latent area. It's the area that even you, I don't think, are fully conscious that you do. And so for you, having this ballet kind of with the 6th house, I mean, I think you're going to be working through some of the routines you do. How do you achieve balance in your life? The balance in your life is so crucial. For Capricorns, I think it's such an extreme energy. I think you guys are used to climbing that ladder at all costs, and at all costs usually means family. It means people at work, relationships with people at work. It just means that you will do whatever it takes to get to that next level on your social status. And so I like that every year you kind of revisit your 12th house and you take a look at, okay, what did I do good in my achievement sector, but at what expense did it cost me? You need to look at those two, and you need to analyze them, and you need to reevaluate that, and then you need to make routines that are more beneficial to getting ahead, but not at the expense of others. And that's going to be some of the work that you're going to be doing this month. So you have this full moon in Sagittarius in your 12th house. So you're activating your higher mind. You're thinking about this on a level that really, truly, that encompasses everything. So if you're working at a job and you did some things to get ahead in life that were at the expense of others, this is a time that you'll revisit it and you'll say, okay, I don't really think that was, in my highest vibration. And you're going to probably revisit it and think about it and analyze it and develop a better structure for yourself, that you don't have to do those same types of maneuvers to get ahead. On the 5th, Mars is going to be sextiling Jupiter. This is a beautiful energy because at the same time, Venus is going to be sextiling Saturn. So on the 5th, you experience an energy, and this was all in your 6th house. So again, we're talking about routine. We're talking about your mental health routine. We're talking about your work routine. We're talking about a way that can bring transformation into your work environment, transformation into your life, into your physical well-being and your mental well-being. So you need to develop a structure in your life that allows you to make room for getting ahead, but also maintaining you. I mean, there's a balance, and it's really hard to go through life where you're trying to get ahead and you're trying to achieve, and you want to work those 10, 12, 14, 16-hour days to get ahead, but then it takes a toll on your physical and mental well-being, which in turn takes a toll on your life with a partner, a life at home, or a life with family. So I think that you're just going to be this particular month in June, you're going to be weighing all that out. There's a lot of progressive energy. There's a lot of fantastic energy in this month. So for you, you're going to want to develop routines that for the long haul balance you out. It's like, okay, yeah, I'll work a 10-hour day, but I'm going to take 10 hours to myself. I mean, you really, really want to look at what it takes to mentally maintain you. And I'm not talking about drugs, and I'm not talking about alcohol, and I'm not talking about extreme behaviors to maintain yourself, because we all know that Capricorns are prone to do those things to maintain some sort of normalcy in their life when they're overachieving. I'm talking about a balance in life where you feel at peace and don't have to feel like you overachieve to get ahead. Now, on the 8th, the Sun in Gemini is going to be trining Jupiter in Leo. And this is fantastic energy, because this whole day is full of nothing but sextiles. And so on the 10th, I really want to talk about the 10th, because the 8th and the 10th, these are really great days. So the 8th, you're going to be thinking about your routines. You're going to want to motivate yourself. You're going to want to come up with a creative way to maintain your professional level and maintain your mental and physical well-being. And you're gonna jot this down. I think that this is going to be something that you're gonna have a conversation with somebody. It could be a doctor, it could be a psychologist, it could be a friend that really hits home for you and says, okay, yeah, I know I work really hard. I know I have a tendency to overachieve. I really probably need to find a way of balance. Probably need to get on a better diet. I probably need to add probiotics to my diet, because I do have a tendency to run myself down. Like, you're going to be thinking along those lines. And then on the 10th, the Sun in Gemini is going to be sextiling Mars in Gemini, and so this will make you passionate. It'll make you want to do it. Now, this day is a really special day. It's an astrological event, and it's called, you're going to have a grand fire trine kite. And it is just pretty fabulous, because for you, this is going to be in your 6th house. So you need to light a fire under really maintaining balance in your life, under maintaining balance between work, mental well-being, work, physical well-being. So you need something in there to really get that going, because you're going to pour all your energy into work, but you're not going to think about what it takes out of you, what it takes from you, what it takes from your family, what at the cost of getting that next level of life. It's like, what does it take from you? This is what you're going to be focusing on. And we have this beautiful fire trine kite. And so basically, it's just all these energies at all areas of your chart are going to be in fire. And then at the bottom of your kite, you're going to have an air energy blowing oxygen onto all this fire, and it's going to just take it into the stratosphere, right? And for you, this is going to be in your 6th house. So this is going to be something unexpected. It could be from a romantic relationship that says, okay, let's get on board. Let's go work out. Let's go do things together. It could be something that emotionally activates something in your life. It could be because of a romantic endeavor that you feel that you need a better balance in your life. You need something that motivates you. Maybe you have a relationship now in your life that will provide you the motivation to go on a better diet, feed yourself the right nutrients, go learn about probiotics, like go out there and really do this research. And you have this partner in your life, or you have this partner in your work, or you have this partnership in a friend that will really help you analyze this part of your life and get you to the next level, because you're not good if you're not good with yourself. If you're not healthy, then your work and your success is going to mean nothing in the end, because you're not healthy enough to maintain the expectation at your job. Now, on the 11th, Mercury goes direct. And then at about 2 something in the night, in the early morning, then Neptune goes in retrograde. So you guys, when you've got a planet going direct, and then you've got a planet going into retrograde, this can bring for some very confusing energy. So I say, I don't really want you to activate anything on that day. I really just want you to understand that there's probably going to be some duality in your thinking. There's probably going to be some confusion. I say write it all out, and don't even touch on this day. Don't react to this day. Don't get caught up in this day. Just write it down and revisit this day when after the 13th, when Mercury actually goes direct. When Mercury goes direct, then you can look at this and your thinking gets elevated. It's no longer caught in confusion. Although Neptune is going to be in retrograde, Neptune is going to heighten your intuition. It's going to elevate your thinking. It's going to give you a sixth sense about what's right or wrong. So it's a great time to revisit whatever happened here on the 11th. And then you can kind of just analyze it and say, okay, I see a rational reason for all of this, and so you can move forward with that. And then on the 14th, you have the Sun in Gemini sextiling Uranus and Aries, and this is crazy energy. Okay, June 14th is a beautiful, fabulous day full of nothing but gorgeous sextiles. So you are going to find that in your 6th house, you may come up with some innovative ideas, something that builds confidence, something that builds you from the inside out. It could be somebody comes into your life and motivates you in this new healthy way of being. It could be you have a great conversation with somebody, a good friend, somebody that you care about, that elevates your thinking and actually takes you to an ascension level and says, okay, yeah, I do this. Yeah, I do devote my life to work, and I don't balance it out with taking care of myself. And so it generates that type of an issue within your own self. And then you have on the 16th, you have a new moon in Gemini, and this is going to be in your 6th house. Now, the Mercury in Gemini is going to be positively aspecting your South Node. So to me, this suggests that even though you're going to have a lot of squares and you're going to have a quincunx and all this Gemini energy, right? You're going to have your Sun and Mars and the Moon all in Gemini, going into quincunxes and squaring off with Saturn in Scorpio. You're going to be like, what the heck just happened? Well, on the 14th in June, Saturn went from Sagittarius in retrograde and back into Scorpio. So for you, this is going to be in your 11th house. So there, you need to revisit areas of your life that have to do with who influences you, how you network yourself, how you put yourself out there, how others perceive you. You really need to take a look at that. And you know, on the 16th, you're going to have this stellium of planets, that the moon, the sun, and Mars all in Gemini, that if something sets you off, it's going to set off your emotions, it's going to set off your passion, and it's going to set off, your ego. And so you want to be mindful of this day. This day can have a lot of volatility in it because you have all this Gemini energy in there making you want to react. And you're going to be very clever with your words. So if it were me, I would be very mindful of this day. This is a day to set new intention in communication, in sibling relationships, in short distance travel. Make a really, I would route this energy and say, okay, I'm gonna plan a small trip, a retreat for maybe just me to get, a healthy routine down for myself. I'm gonna go away. I'm gonna go away with somebody that can motivate me to go get into a really good routine with myself. Maybe I need to start juicing. Maybe I need to start, exploring a dietary way, a new dietary way of maintaining my energy level through all of those really long hours that you guys like to put in. So I really think that the 16th is a really good activation point. It's a really good time, even though you're in a lot of opposition in that day. It's only that you're in opposition to learn that you need to elevate yourself and need to start working forward in something. And then on the 22nd, we have Jupiter that's in Leos, and it's going to be trining Uranus in Aries. This could generate something highly unexpected. It could generate something that will appeal to you from your core level and your deepest level. We do have a lot of quincunxes this day. I think that there's going to be a relationship that comes to light, a romantic endeavor or a business relationship or a creative outlet that you were on a kick about that may take away your personal power. You may have identified a lot with this, and then you turned around and it was like, that didn't turn out. It wasn't what I was expected. I have this roadblock, this obstacle in my way. And remember, Saturn's in Scorpio. So this is something that was there all along, but maybe you didn't see it so much. And so you want to be very, very careful about this day. It's a day to go. It's a day to put forth great intention. It's a great day to strive for balance. I think if you do, Saturn is going to respect that and is going to transform that part of your relationship with yourself, with others, with your relationship with your mental well-being and your physical well-being. But you need to be humbled in this process, so you may come up with some opposition before you get to the point where you're like, okay, I actually really do need to change all this stuff. And then on the 22nd, we're going to have Jupiter in Leo trine Uranus in Aries. And I really like this energy. It could mean for a big, big break to come into your life. It could be unexpected. It could mean that you meet somebody. It could be a romantic endeavor. It could be something that just fires you up. I want you to be careful that if you meet somebody and it is in a romantic endeavor, I want you to know that it may not work out because it may be a relationship that removes personal power from you, that it makes you submit to them in order to stay in the relationship with them. You're not the submitting kind. So this would generate a really fiery type interaction with this person because initially you'll have the spark, but then you'll soon realize this isn't the relationship for me, or this isn't partnership energy for me. This isn't the way I want to take my business. This isn't the type of business partner I want, or it may be an obstacle in as far as getting a loan, or some sort of legal agreement. It may cause an obstacle. Initially it may come off and sound really good, but then eventually you figure out, oh, there was an obstacle there. Then on the 23rd, you're going to have Mercury, which is still sitting in your 6th house. It's going to square off with Neptune and Pisces. I still believe that Neptune and Pisces is this like beautiful intuitive energy that is like sitting on your shoulder trying to whisper in your ear the reality of the situation. Now, Neptune is not always this planet. Neptune is more like, let's just show them the best part of this energy and let's just give them all the hope they want, and you can move forward. But I can tell you this. In this energy, Neptune's going to be keeping it real. It's going to be it's going to give you some intuition, and whether or not you follow this intuition, that's completely up to you. I mean, whether or not you respect that the universe is bringing this into your life, you could want to trudge forward, and you'll learn later, because the moon is going to be in Scorpio. Saturn's in Scorpio, so secrets, lies, deceit, anything that's bubbling below the surface is going to come out. It's going to come out in emotion. It's going to come out, sitting in Saturn's classroom and hearing that voice. And Neptune is not going to allow this delusion to happen. So reality is going to strike you guys probably between the 22nd and 23rd, I think, about anything that you guys need to work on. And then on the 28th, we have Venus in Leo is going to be trining Uranus in Aries. And this is going to follow it. This is going to go into July. It is just such a beautiful energy. I mean, Venus is in your 8th house. So you need to transform the way that you relate to others, the way you love others, the way that you creatively come up with resolutions, the way that you maintain your personal power, the way that you give people personal power. If you are a dictator in your job, if that's the way that you run your life, then you're going to find that, especially Saturn in Scorpio and your moon in Scorpio, is going to really crack down on the fact that you are trying to take away other people's power to maintain your own personal power. However, if you are a person that has been humbled during the process of all of these Pluto-Uranus squares, and you really want to empower people to have personal power, I think this could be a highly wonderful, opportunistic time filled with love, passion, creativity, filled with opportunity, filled with love. I mean, this is just such a beautiful energy. I just think where you are karmically is your own journey. And so you're going to want to be mindful of this, because don't forget that Pluto in here is going to be quincunxing Mercury in Gemini on the 28th. And so it really wants you to talk about how you work well with others, how you maintain yourself, how you maintain your relationships with others. It's really going to want to emphasize, love. How do you talk to your partner? Do you take away your partner's personal power to maintain the power in the relationship? I mean, I think all of this stuff is going to bubble to the surface, and it's going to really answer a lot of questions. This is a very beautiful and positive month if you are working in the highest vibration of all of these energies. If you have succumbed, and if you are still working in the low vibration of this energy, I think you're going to go through a lot of tests and tribulations toward the end of the month. I think you're going through a lot of beautiful energy during the beginning of the month, but toward the end of the month, you're going to be like, what the hell is happening? Like, this is starting to really suck. I think working on your 12th house, I really think that full moons are cumulative energy. And although they'll bring something up and it could bring it to a head, or it could bring you some clarity, it could illuminate the shadow part of your life, because the moon illuminates the darkness, the darkest parts of you. It also sets a tone for the 4 weeks that you go through. And so up till the next full moon. And then in July, we have 2 full moons. And we have a full moon on the 1st of July. And so I really want you guys to pay attention to the fact that whatever is illuminated, the darkest parts of yourself, the darkest parts of a situation, the darkest parts of love, the darkest parts of opportunity, all of that stuff is really relevant to the next cycle of the next 2 moons that are coming up in July. I apologize that it took me so long to get this out. Like I said, I work a full-time job. It's not an excuse, but, Mercury just had some fun with me and my appearance to you all. I mean, into my rising sign. And so it made me look incredibly, not very reliable in getting these monthly videos out. But I appreciate you guys sticking by me and understanding that Mercury was having a little fun in my life. And I look forward to talking to you guys again in July. Have a wonderful month, guys. Bye-bye.